Do you want a quick way to seam two pieces of MDF together? I got your solution. Stay tuned and enjoy the video. What's going on, guys? This is Kenny with RK3 Designs. Today I'm going to show you how I do my seams when I seam all my MDF together. We're going to use dowels, a dowel jig, quick coat, and thickener to make the quick coat thicker, obviously. We're going to need a mixing cup and some popsicle sticks. You're also going to need a drill, a T-square for a straight line, and a tape measure. Now for this application, this is a mock-up countertop that I'm doing here. But for a real countertop, you're going to use a little bit more. Normally for this, I'm going to use about 4 ounces for this seam. And on a regular countertop, you would want to go 5 to 6. So it depends on you, how much you want to mix. That'll be your call. So what we're going to do today is we're going to measure 3 inches, or say let's go 2 inches on this one, 2 inches on each side, and then we're just going to put 2 in the middle. And there's no rhyme to reason if you're laying this out. I like to put 4 to 5 depending on the length of the seam. So from there, we're just going to use our straight edge. And then I'm just going to use it here. Make sure when you're doing your lines that you go about 6 inches on each side of the line. That way when you're lining up your dowel jig, you can see your marks and you won't have any issues with that. So as you can see here, I got my lines all mixed up or marked up, and now I'll use the dowel jig to put these together. Okay, so you see that one line? That's what you're gonna line up to your pencil mark. That way you can have an accurate cut when you're drilling into the MDF. So now what we're gonna do is move these over, and I'm gonna line up my marks. Okay, so you get your little white line that's on this jig, and if I haven't said, this is a Dowel Max, and I've seemed to enjoy this jig. It works out pretty good. So then all I'm gonna do is just line it up on my marks. Now one thing, after I drill my holes, I like to come back and waller out the holes just a little bit, because the dowels are so tight, it just gives me that room for some play. But one thing I don't do is go any deeper. Now we'll do the other side. Same thing on this side, and I'm just gonna waller it out just a little. Now I'm just gonna line these up and get them kind of close. But first, I wanna mention that, as you can see here, I have a piece of MDF that I use to do all my seams. And it's just a 1/2 inch piece of MDF. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put plastic in between these two pieces underneath them, so the epoxy won't stick. And that's a good way of not having to use a bunch of Tyvek tape. Yeah, so if you can see this Tyvek, I used to put the Tyvek tape and then try to line it up. It was such a pain. But now I just use pieces of plastic like this, and we're gonna put them underneath like that, and then the epoxy won't stick to this. You can pop it off and off you go. So now all I'm gonna do is just line these up. And there you go. Now I don't have to worry about any tape or anything, because the epoxy is gonna have the thickener in it, and that's gonna make it like a slurry, so it's just not gonna run out. So once I put these two together, yes, I will have a little bit of excess that comes out a little bit right here, but we can sand that off and make it nice and pretty. Same thing on the back side. I'm not worried about that. But if you are, you can always get the plastic and roll it up and put it on top and hold it down, and then that will hold your seam together. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna mix the quick coat. All right, so what I'm gonna do for this seam right here is I'm gonna mix 4 ounces. It's still a 1-to-1, so I'm gonna mix 2 and 2. That'll give me 4. I'm glad I paid attention in school, huh? All right, here we go. So we always like to put B in before A because it's less viscous, as Rhonda would say. It's thinner, and the part A is real thick, as you can see. It's not even coming out yet. Here it comes. We'll put a little bit of. So what I like to do is mix this up a little bit, maybe about a minute or so. Also make sure you scrape your edges on here to make sure you get a good uniform mix. And it is a little cooler today, so we're having to, as you can see, it's still a little runny. But once I put that thickener on there, you are ready to go. The other thing, make sure you have everything ready to go, because once this stuff starts kicking off, it goes quick. Obviously, quick coat, the name, right? The other thing is, once you put the thickener in it, it also accelerates the cure for some reason. So just make sure you are ready to go. You have everything laid out. You can see now how thick it's getting. And you're just going to have to play with it as far as how much. It's kind of like if you're making a gravy. You just have to add a little flour a little bit at a time, and that'll tell you how much you need. So see, I like that. It's enough to get down into the seam, but not enough to just go crazy. So it kind of looks like whipped marshmallow, I would say. So we're gonna butter the dowels, and I'm gonna stick them in there. Use a little hammer to tap them in. Now when you're doing these seams, guys, can't say enough. You can't be messing around, because especially if you keep it in the cup, it really will set off real quick. So now I got this going pretty good. I'm gonna get it close to where I'm gonna set it up. Now I'm gonna butter the other side of the dowels, so that way when it goes inside, it'll have a good bond. Okay, so now I'm gonna line up the holes. We're gonna get it kind of close. Okay, so now what I like to do on this is leave a pretty good sized gap. The other thing is, keep some popsicle sticks handy, because that's the width that we're gonna use to keep the seam open. So we're not gonna squeeze it all together and squeeze everything out. We're gonna leave that gap in there. The other thing, pushing this quick coat down in here, you're gonna get all the air bubbles out, and it won't settle as much if you do this. So you can get in there and squeeze it down in there, and make sure you have all the quick coat down in there. The other thing too is, once we close it up, it's going to push some of that up. That'll be good. Yeah, so right now I'm going to stick the popsicle sticks in here. And I'm going to butt it up. So now you can see that all that came back up. Now I'm just going to push this down. The other thing too is I'm going to leave it high on that seam. And you can see here that it is already getting thick. So now we have the seam, the gap is filled, and I have enough epoxy where it's going to stay high. Because as you know, gravity is it's going to settle, and then you don't want all that epoxy to go down where you're going to have to fill it back up. So what I'll do is now I'm going to clamp it down with some boards, and then in about 6 to 8 hours I can come back and I can sand all this off to where it's nice and flat. Then we can bondo on top of that. So let's go ahead and put the boards on. As you can see here, I have wrapped some 1x4s in plastic, and all this is going to do is I'm just going to lay it right on top. Now I got the board on top, and I'm just going to use this board to clamp it down. That way the two pieces aren't going to be unlevel once it dries. So we'll take a, and you can see that's putting a lot of pressure down on there. It's not going to move. Same thing here on this other side. And I'll do the same over here. So there you go. So now it's clamped down. It's not going to go anywhere. So in a few hours, we can take this off, sand it down, we'll be good to go. Okay, we let the epoxy sit overnight. Now we're going to take the boards off, and you're going to see the plastic is not going to stick to the epoxy. It's going to be a quick, easy fix. Right there, nothing sticks to the plastic, which is awesome. We have a nice seam. We'll just have to sand this inside corner out, and we'll be good to go. Take the other side off. You can see here, everything's nice and easy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sand it down with an angle grinder and a metal sanding disc. This is an 80 grit. You can use whatever grit you like. Just remember, when you are using this for the first time, that you take little swipes as possible. Make sure you're using 2 hands, and that you always have a dust mask. So when you are doing this, you just want to make sure you take small swipes, because this can get away from you and you can gouge it. So nice and easy, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so you can see how the epoxy ran out, but it didn't really just bust out. So now all you have to do is just sand this off, and I'll show you how I do that, and just keep it flush. And the same thing, you'll do that to the inside corner. I just wanted to show with that thickener, it's not gonna ooze out like if you just had just regular epoxy. So that's why I like to use this. Also, you can see this seam and how pretty that is. It gives you a real thick bond. The MDF is gonna break before the epoxy will. So this is a very strong bond, and you won't have to worry about it. Okay, one fun fact is, underneath, what I would do is I would put a board on each side of that seam. That way you give your strength, because this still will flex. So if you put glue and wood screws into this, that's going to help your flex, and you won't get a ghost seam. I would say 99% of the time. But this will just help that epoxy. When you're flipping it over and you're putting it back and you pour that epoxy, you won't have that ghost seam through there. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it over now that I've sanded both front and back, and I just want to show you the underside to show you how smooth it is, and there's no sanding involved underneath. So here we go. Okay, so you can see how the epoxy went all the way through, and this is what I like about that, is I know that the epoxy went all the way through the seam, and it oozed out a little bit, but look how smooth that is. You don't have to sand it if you don't want to, but it'll work because we come under here, put our strips all the way around, it won't impede on anything. So if you like this content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. Guys, thanks for sticking around. Until next time, adios.